Hi, today we're going to go ahead and make this cauliflower crust that I've been asked a lot how I've done my own, and it took me a few tries, but I perfected it. So I'm going to teach everybody how to make it. And I'm going to start with the ingredients. We got cauliflower, some olive oil spray, some egg whites. Some people do use regular eggs. I'm trying to lower the cholesterol on it, so we're going to stick with egg whites. Although if you want to use a few eggs, you certainly can. We got some Parmesan cheese. This is to mix for the cauliflower crust, and this I got at Walmart for $15. This is a chopper, so it's going to make the rice into cauliflower into some kind of rice, which we're going to be able to utilize the egg whites along with the cauliflower with cheese, and we're going to spread it out, and I will be showing you step by step. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is get about a third of the cauliflower into the processor. You can use a food processor as well. This one seems to be pretty easy though. So we've now made it into a rice base, which we can actually put into the bowl. We will be using the cauliflower into a pan to absorb some of the moisture, and I will be showing you how to do that. I will go ahead and finish this off and show you the next step in a moment. So this entire cauliflower, I took out all the cloves, I put it in the processor, I put it in the bowl. This is roughly about 5 cups. We're going to take it to the stove and try to get out some of this water that's in it. Okay, so now that you have the cauliflower processed, you put it on a skillet, let it cook for a while. Don't need to add anything to it. We're going to go ahead and just let some of the steam come off the cauliflower. It should take about 10-15 minutes as it's continuing to mix. One thing to keep in mind, no need to bake it. Don't need to get brown or anything like that. While we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and do a little trick with the cheese. Now for 5 cups of cauliflower, you're going to need 2 cups of cheese. Technically they say you can use 2.5, but try to be a little bit under 2, just trying to make it a little healthier as I continue to do this. So the cheese that I'm picking is Parmesan. Some people use mozzarella, but this one has a denser texture, so it actually helps keep it together in order to make the crust crispy. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this with my food processor and get a nice low My goal is to actually turn it into crumbles, so right now it's still kind of thick, so I'll continue to process it and show the next step. As you can see, I got the texture the way I want it, nice and small crumbles, and I'll be putting it in the bowl, waiting for the cauliflower to demoisturize all that water. A quick update on the cauliflower in the pan. Once it's finished, I will let it cool off roughly about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll mix it with the cheese and the egg whites that I'm about to show you. So I was able to measure 2 cups of cheese. This is how thin and fine you want to get it. Almost looks like powder Parmesan, but it's actually fresh Parmesan. So I have 3/4 cup of egg whites that I'm going to be adding to the cheese and the cauliflower, and then we'll begin mixing. If you don't want to use egg whites and use regular eggs, 2 eggs should do for the recipe. I've just mixed the cheese and the cauliflower together. I'm going to stir it around before I put the egg in there, just give it a little mixture. I'm now going to mix the egg whites in, and then I'm going to stir like so, so I get the base that I want to spread as a crust. Now that it's mixed, we're going to take some spoonfuls and put it in our pan, and then we're going to spread it out and flatten with a spatula. Just like so. Get it even, make it bigger, and I'll make another batch in a second to show the difference between the two if there's any. Make sure you get a coat of olive oil spray just so it doesn't stick. Now the crusts are ready to go into the oven at 400 degrees. We're going to leave them in there for 25 minutes and then we'll do the next step. So 400 degrees, 25 minutes, side by side. Okay, I left the pizza crust in there a little bit longer just to see if I can get a little more crunchier out of it. So far it looks pretty good. You never really know it's cauliflower crust. We're going to do something different though that I haven't seen others do yet. And we're going to try to make this extra crispy because we want to have it really firm on the base so it's not so flimsy when we try to pick it up. So as you can see here, the bottom is nice and toasty. When we try to lift it, it's still a little flimsy. So we're going to put it on a pizza screen along with this one and see if we can get a little extra toasty for us. But the bottom base looks good. It's a little toasty. I said I'd try it with a little bit longer this time just because I like my pizza crust firm. Some of these you can use with food processor. I know earlier I used a manual one, which is perfectly fine. Some you can use with regular eggs. I like to use egg whites. And let's go ahead and get this flipped. So you can see I put it on a pizza screen. We're going to let it cook for another 10 minutes. And this should get the bottom area a little more crispy for us. Okay, so it's in the oven. It's on the pizza screen. 10 minutes later, let's see what comes out. If you're able to pick up your pizza crust like this, you did a good job. I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add some sauce and some cheese to this and create some pizzas. Give you a little head start on making your next cauliflower pizza. As you can see, it bends pretty nicely. It is pretty firm. And we could do a lot with this, including making sandwiches, burritos. I'll be having some more videos in the upcoming days, weeks. They're going to show different things that I'm planning on doing with this. And I think a lot of you will be surprised. So make sure you do subscribe to this channel and like what you see. And spread the word so everybody can start eating healthy. This is a much low carb option than regular pizza crust. I personally like using the Rayo's homemade sauce. It's less sugar than most sauces. As you can see, I didn't drown it. I'll go ahead and just spread it out just to wet the cauliflower crust. And when we add cheese, we'll do the same thing. We don't have to drown it. Just get a good taste of it to make it as healthy as possible. But at the same time, enjoy a good pizza from home. Now we're going to add some cheese. I did use the processor to get the mozzarella to come out to this really thin piece. I think it's a little bit easier because I can go ahead and spread it out without overdoing it. It's actually enough for each pizza, although you can use extra cheese if you like. But, you know, the least amount of cheese, the better. Let's go ahead and get the cheese ready. I did this earlier, so I did store some away, so anytime I need some cheese, I just go in the fridge and grab it. This is about to go into the oven. Add a little bit more here and throw a little bit of turkey pepperoni. So you can use regular, but we choose to use the turkey one just for health reasons. It's a little bit better for you. So the pizzas are now in the oven again. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now it's on the pizza rack, so it makes it crispy. And we'll see what the final product looks like in just a moment. Okay, so it's out of the oven and it looks pretty good to me. This is a cheese pizza, although you can add all the toppings you want. If you look at the crust, it's really sturdy. Once you cut this up, you'll be able to lift it like a regular slice of pizza. And hopefully this video helps you figure out how to make some pizza crust really quick. It really doesn't take too long. Maybe 20 minutes of prep. 30 more minutes in the oven. And if you do like this video, click like, subscribe to my channel. I'll put a lot more stuff. I think we got some good ideas coming up. Sandwiches, different types of tacos, different types of exotic food I've already thought about. So hope you enjoyed. Bye.